This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, July the 18th, 1999. Gonna party like it's 1999. David Cohn did something that was huge. It was the 16th time that someone threw a perfect game. Third Yankee to do so, and the first ever in interleague. Well, a no-hitter even. Cohn did his job and all that. In 2 hours and 16 minutes, he took Yankees on a magic carpet ride. And all that. So, anyway. It was huge and all that. So, anyway. It was a beautiful Sunday afternoon on July the 18th, 1999. Expos took on the Yankees as Interleague took over Major League Baseball, where if every AL East team took on NL East team, AL Central versus NL Central, and AL West versus NL West. Simple. Now, of course, the Blue Jays were playing, and yes, they played the Atlanta Braves. And yes, I was at that game the same day as David Cohn's perfect game. I was in Toronto, the whole Diamond family trip. And yeah, the Braves were there. Of course, I was a little disgusted because my cousin Tim wore a Chipper Jones jersey. Atlanta number 10 jersey to the game. Of course, 14-year-old me, and for the first time I was wearing glasses while watching the Blue Jay game. Well, I was not too pleased. But, of course, be fair to your cousins. Regardless, he would wear that jersey for other teams too, so, okay. So, anyway, it was Yogi Berra Day at Yankee Stadium because Yogi Berra had been so disgraced and disgruntled with George Steinbrenner interfering with everything after Berra got fired early in the 1985 season. He just basically said, I won't do anything to do with the Yankees, so he just basically made himself incognito. And he would never go to Yankee Stadium again. Fortunately, though, Steinbrenner and Berra did actually connect with each other, and Steinbrenner said all was forgiven. So Yogi Berra decided to catch the opening pitch from his battery mate, Don Larson, who pitched a perfect game in the 56 World Series. That was kind of weird how that foreshadowed what would happen. I mean, the battery of the first perfect game in Yankee history. Larson the pitcher and Berra the catcher. The second Yankee perfecto was David Wells just a year prior, in 1998, against the Twins. So, anyway. Bobby Mercer and the recently deceased Tim McCarver were on the play-by-play call on Channel 5. Anyway, so Cohn did pretty well for himself. However, there was a 30-minute rain delay in the third inning. The Yankees scored basically in the second inning. After a Chili Davis walk, Ricky Leday hit a 2-run shot into the upper deck in right field. Scott Brosius was hit by a pitch, and then Joe Girardi got an RBI double. Chuck Knobloch would walk, and Derek Jeter would take a 2-run shot to make it 5-0. Bertie Williams would get an RBI single in the 8th to make it 6-0. Cohn did quite well for himself. Jose Fedro almost beat out an infield hit in the 8th inning, but Knobloch, who actually was starting to have defensive problems, actually made a good play. So it was on to the 9th. Chris Woodger, the catcher, got struck out by Cohn. And then Ryan McGuire, not related to Mark McGuire. This McGuire was McGuire, not GWIRE. Hit a fly ball to left field. Ricky Leday almost botched it, but he made the play. And then Orlando Cabrera, the good shortstop of the Expos, before he was traded to Boston, before the 2004 trade deadline. Popped up to Scott Brocious and foul territory. Brocious easily made the catch, and Cone would fall on his knees and into the arms of Girardi, as you see the picture. If you're watching this, you see the picture. Cone's teammates would lift him off the field, and it was amazing. Berra and Larson would embrace him, and David Cone had pitched the third perfect game in Yankees history, and the Expos would suck ever since. Rookie of the day with his third home run, Derek Jeter with his 16th. Montreal had Javier Vazquez be the loser. So anyway, the starting lineups, if you must know. Montreal had Wilton Guerrero at DH, Terry Jones in center, Rondell White in left, Vladdy Guerrero in right, Jose Fudro at second, Brad Fulmer at first, Chris Widger at catcher, Shane Andrews at third, and Atlanta Cabrera at short. Yankees starting lineup was Chuck Knoblauch at second, Derek Jeter at short, Paul O'Neill in right, Bertie Williams in center, Tino Martinez at first, Chili Davis DHing, Rookie of the day in left, Scott Brocious at third, and Joey Girardi will catch. So it was amazing and all that. So anyway, a lot of the Yankee starters actually were there for both Cone and Wells' perfect game. The main exception was that Cone had Ricky Leday in left field and not Chad Curtis as David Wells did. And David Wells had Darryl Strawberry BTH, not Chili Davis. And Jorge Posada was on the bench for Cone's perfect game. Wells' perfect game, he was the pitcher. The good news for the Yankees is that this did not ruin their momentum, and they won the World Series, sweeping the Atlanta Braves, becoming the most successful team of the 21st century because their 25th world title broke the tie they had with the Montreal Canadiens for most titles in any sport. Anyway, though, yeah, a few key notes after the game. Number one was, yes, the Blue Jays beat the Braves 2-1. It was a tight-knit affair. Little did I know that the Braves were going to be the National League representative at the World Series against the Yankees. And this would be the second straight year I would be watching the Blue Jays beat a World Series finalist. The 98 Yankees and now the 99 Braves. That would actually be stretched to 2000 with the New York Mets, watching the Jays and Mets in Toronto, and the Mets were the 2000 National League champions, and the 2001 Yankees. So that was kind of weird. Anyway, didn't matter. Anyway, the one problem was that David Cone actually, after his perfect game, started to slide. In 2000, he would go 4-14. Man, can you believe it? Not even David Wells went flat. The year after he got his perfect game. Of course, Wells was traded to Toronto for Clemens. Anyway, Cone would pitch to Mike Piazza in Game 4. But the Mets were threatening to take the lead, so he went with Cone to induce the pop-up to Piazza to end the 5th inning. Yankees would win that game. So yeah, a lot of perfect games. And of course, you know, this was the last Yankee perfect game until Domingo Germán this past year has done so. So yeah, David Cone had a good perfect game. Gotta like that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.